Happy Halloween and welcome to the Stahls TV Morning Show. We want to thank you for joining us on this holiday episode. And while everyone else is thinking about candy and trick-or-treating and costumes, we're going to teach you how to profit in your heat printing business.
Good. So you started, if you were tuned in early enough, you saw a Project Press It video, which was put you in the Halloween theme with a project with a skeleton, sort of like what I'm wearing. But that one was glow in the dark. This one is not. With a print cut design and a graphic underneath it. So that was just to get you in the theme, and every week we publish a Project Press It video. All you need to do is subscribe to the Stahls TV blog and you'll get that Project Press It video update, and we want to inspire you to keep your t-shirt designs fresh. And sort of in that theme, on the Stahls TV Morning Show, we also have something called Look of the Week.
Yep, so here's this week's Look of the Week. You'll see here this look was submitted by Katie Jones, and it is Premium Plus and Fashion Film Electric.
Yeah, I really love this design. Number one is it's in theme for today's episode and Halloween, but also I love the use of Fashion Film Electric and how you get that pop of metallic within this text-based design. And you might say this could easily be heat transfer foil as well, but Fashion Film Electric is a great choice. And that product line, which can be cut on your vinyl cutter, has some vibrant metallics that are single-step application. Really easy to do mixed media designs like you see here.
Yeah, and mixed media and even these special effects looks you see will be a big part of Halloween. So even national holidays, anything like that, we really like using the special effect finishes. And when you can get those with one step, it's really easy.
Yeah, and if you want to submit to be considered for Look of the Week and you win a swag bag if you win, you can send those to, upload them on our, email them on the screen right now, thank you, to tv@stahls.com, so you can submit just photos by email with your contact information, or you can share them on our Facebook page. Every Saturday we do a show and tell on our Stahls Facebook page, and we get literally hundreds of comments, and that's a great place to be inspired and submit your look as well. And then last but not least, you can add them to Instagram and tag us, and you'll be entered to win Look of the Week, and we pick it every week here on the morning show.
Yep, and today's episode we have something fun in store for you later on. But if you tuned in last week for a live event, Courtney K, myself, Karen, and Jenna all did a holiday-themed episode. So it talked mostly about Christmas, but in this episode we want to talk about all of the opportunities you have. So Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Halloween.
Yeah, and so an important thing is to, and I say this a million times, but subscribe to the Stahls TV blog, because today we're going to talk a little bit about Halloween, but you've probably missed the boat on making money on Halloween this year if you're just starting to think about it, obviously. But we want to share some looks just to have some fun and teach you little tips and techniques and how we created them.
Yeah.
But we're going to spend the majority of the episode looking forward to Thanksgiving and Christmas and some profit opportunities there. But first, let's take a look back at some looks that were published on the Stahls TV blog back at the end of September.
Yeah, so I published these early September, I think around the 17th, so that you'd be able to get a jump start on the Halloween season. And this look right here is a reference to the popular Halloween show Hocus Pocus, or movie rather. This artwork was created using CAD cut glitter flake and fashion film.
Yeah, there's a couple things that I like about this. Of course, if you're a designer in Corel or Illustrator, you could probably create this silhouette of the hairstyles of the three witches on Hocus Pocus. But if you're not a graphic designer, you can always use a free design software that we give you called CADWorks Live. Grab a JPEG, a bitmap image, ideally something that is pretty good resolution, clean quality, and do a trace on this to make it vector art, to make it cuttable. So you can recreate this look, and I love how you chose three different colors of glitter flake here, mix that with a basic fashion film or Premium Plus white print, and you just get a really clean design that pops.
Yeah, I designed all the looks you'll see in this holiday theme. This one specifically was created with CADWorks Live. So let's go on to the next one.
All right. So this one is interesting, right? So cute, it's scary. I like the saying, and text-based graphics and sayings are a big part of the opportunity if you own a vinyl cutter. So in this case, we're combining that with a few clip art elements, and it looks like there's actually some blood on this shirt. What's going on here?
Yeah, so the saying is so cute it's scary. So the cute part of this design is the 3 colors of glitter flake, and the scary part is that blood dripping. So it's just kind of a Halloween look that's just a little bit scary and can be used still for a children's apparel.
Good, I like that one. Let's take a look at the next one. Perhaps my favorite.
You like this one?
I like it for many reasons. So you'll see frequent flyer. It is not a squirrel, right?
It is not. Frequent flyer is a play on being a frequent flyer, obviously on an airline, but this is a witch. So that is a cat on a broom and then a crescent moon there.
Yeah, and the reason I like it so much, not only for the saying and sort of the messaging there, but I like it because of how foil is incorporated. And as we talked earlier on the look of the week, metallics and foils are something big we see trending heading into 2017. And this one includes perhaps the most popular trending color that we're seeing from sportswear companies and fashion companies alike, which would be that silver hologram that we see on the crescent moon.
Yeah, so this just happens to be a woman's small. It may or may not have created this look for me. I absolutely love the hologram foil and that gold. And the frequent flyer is a script font, and that was created the high detail with fashion film.
Yep, and another just quick tip before we leave this look, in case you've never seen this before, you can buy a product called CAD Cut Adhesive. Cut adhesive and press it down, and then you actually just take the pieces of foil and the colors that you want and lay it on top of the adhesive and press it to get the look. So that's another product that's new from Stahls. You can find it at stahls.com.
And I do want to note that that look was not direct layered as well. The artwork was created so that it could be applied in 2 steps.
Good, good. So this design is Boo, right, with a little ghost behind it.
Yeah, it's a little scary.
Yeah, there's only one thing scary about this one to me. It's the scorch marks, right? So if you're looking at this and you sort of have to pick it up on the monitor, we did this for a couple of reasons. Number one, you get a really cool design and look, but obviously we've ruined this garment through scorching, and so it's always good to share our mistakes. That way we can learn together. The product selection, the film selection for this was
fashion film, so it was applied at 320 degrees. To avoid this heat press box, we could use a lower temp material like Premium Plus and get it at 280.
Good, yeah, and then the other important factor, not only are we cutting 40 degrees off of the application by going to Premium Plus instead of fashion film, but we're cutting the dwell time in half. So fashion film takes 15 seconds, Premium Plus is 8 seconds. So the moral of the story here is order an extra shirt in before you run production, or even if you only have one shirt, test a small inconspicuous area with your dwell time, make sure it's not going to be heat sensitive, and go from there. And so Joe just wanted to show us back on camera. I'm going to go back to another look. Hi. And
Spooky.
we have this look, right?
Yeah, so this is what you're wearing right now.
Right.
There's only one difference. You're wearing fashion film, and this is glow. So you can see if you go to the next slide there, it's actually glow in the dark.
Yeah, and what's cool about this with the glow, although it's an expensive shirt with all of the material it's consumed, you can sort of nest this up by taking the arm bones, if you will, and sort of breaking them apart and nesting it. That way you're not consuming a crazy amount of material. All in all, this takes about 2/3 of a yard. So in fashion film, you're going to be able to keep your cost down. That's only going to cost you about $4 plus the labor for the print. In glow, it's a little more expensive material, so it's going to be about triple that cost.
So this is actually used in 3 carriers. The arms were created using our leg and sleeve platen, and that front was created with a 2-step application on our 16x20 heat press.
And you always see this. This is a popular look, so if you want to create, a Halloween costume or something for your kids, nephews, whatever it might be, this is a cool style.
Yeah, it's perfect because it has that high visibility, so if you're out at night trick-or-treating, you'll definitely be seen. So we want to start the main content of this episode today, which is holiday apparel. And not just, I guess, holiday apparel, but the many profit opportunities you have with holiday looks. So we first want to start with holiday apparel. Here you see a onesie that is created using 3 colors of glitter flake and popular Christmas colors.
Yeah, nothing says Christmas quite like glitter flake, right? And so
Right.
this look is cool because it incorporates a couple big things. Personalization is one of them, also a 3-color design, and then we're decorating a sort of a trendier blank for children's apparel, which is the rabbit skins line from S&S Activewear. So if you're looking to profit with children's apparel, S&S Activewear is a great vendor, has a lot of youth and children's styles. But this is a pretty neat look, and you guys recently did a show on all of these looks where they can get in-depth how to print knowledge, correct?
Yeah, we did a holiday themed episode. So it focused on 4 major parts, which was holiday apparel, gift giving, holiday events, and just holiday items. So Karen created the apparel looks, the 2 here. The next one is this saying t-shirt. My favorite color is Christmas lights.
And this is your favorite t-shirt, correct?
This is my favorite look of the episode, definitely. It's just so eye-catching. You get so many colors in just a little bit of application time with the foil there.
Yeah, so just to walk through that application, what we're looking at here is we're looking at a 4-color fashion film design. There's actually 2 shades of green there to give it a different look and dimension. And so that's heat applied in layers. The beautiful thing about fashion film is I can tack those background layers for just 2 seconds to work through building that up. And then the Christmas lights were actually cut out of the CAD cut adhesive, and then small squares were cut to sort of layer over the different lights and pressed all together to get that look. So I'd recommend you watch the episode for full details on how to do it. But the finished result, this is definitely something
I think it's really cool. Karen even mentioned that she used typical Christmas-like colors for the foil. So it just gives you an idea of how many colors we actually have available.
Yeah, do you decorate your house or apartment with lights for Christmas?
I do not, but I might wear this shirt, and that's good enough.
Okay, well, fair enough. All right, so what's our next look?
So the next maybe theme, I guess, is holiday items. So you can have those over there. The first we are showing is a table runner. You can go ahead and talk about this one.
You want me to talk about the table runner? So this is another thing that scares me, right? You look at something like this, it looks very heat sensitive, it looks very delicate. I think the finished product is awesome, but I would be very scared to approach something like this and decorate it. But the great thing is, the vendor of this item, it's only $1 from the dollar store, right?
It is, yeah. We mentioned it in the holiday episode. It was only $1, so we ended up buying 2, 1 to test and 1 to heat print. So this is the final product, created all with, it's mostly glitter flake. So it gives a really special effect finish, and the artwork ties directly into the pattern of the item.
Yeah, and I know one of the top questions we always get is we've layered glitter flake on top of fashion film there. And we have a lot of people that will say, you don't recommend putting glitter flake on top of anything. So I'd just like to clarify that in order for something to last 50 wash cycles, we don't recommend glitter flake be layered on top of it. But with a low wash, sort of low use item like this table runner, feel free to mix and match, sort of break the rules a bit and get creative with your application.
Right, because you're probably only going to wash this once a year, maybe when the gravy spills on it. So that's about the wash that you'll get there. Our next item is a
Okay, you are not going to let me follow up on that gravy comment. You're just going to move to the next item? All right.
This is a tree skirt created with glitter flake. So it has the look, I'm not sure if you can see it here, but of freshly fallen snow. And we love this. Well, I love this because, as you can see here, there are absolutely no seams. So you're able to get a really flat print area on your heat press.
Yeah, and this is this would be another challenging item. You get that sort of fleece feel. I know you can't visually see that through the screen, but there's a texture to this item. And so this is another one where you want to make sure you test prior to printing. And in this case, I don't know many people that actually launder their tree skirt. Have you ever laundered your tree skirt?
I have not.
No, I don't think we have either. It just goes back in the box with the tree until next year. But this is one where you can even drop the temperature lower than what's recommended because it's not going to be laundered. You literally just need to get it to stick and stay. So feel free to experiment, drop your temperature for an application like this. But this could be, you know, you make one of these, share it out on Facebook. This could be a profitable item for your business selling to your connections.
Yeah, that and the table runner. They always say that you wear your best work. So this is just a different way you can display your best work in your home. So if you do have visitors, they'll probably be curious and ask you about them.
Nice. All right. So I like this one too. This is a stocking. And so when we start talking about a couple different things here that you see, we're seeing the theme of nothing says Christmas quite like glitter. So you see a lot of glitter flake in these designs. But we also see the inclusion of a monogram. We noticed on the last one we had sort of family last names or call-outs, but in this case we're actually doing a monogram particular, specific rather, to whoever stocking this is, right?
Yeah, and I love the idea of personalization because when you get this gift, you really feel like it was created for you because it will either have your initials or names on it. And this look too can be created instead of with the monogram in the middle, maybe with a name, so mom, dad, sister, brother, something like that. Cat, yeah.
Even. You know, I know people that do stockings for like the family pets for sure. So
I would like to say that I do.
You do?
I do.
Yeah, of course. And then we actually did a stocking, sad enough, for my daughter's baby doll one year.
That's sweet.
The American Girl doll.
So she could create one of these stocking looks with her name on it.
Yeah, it's very popular. And then before we leave this one, I want to point out that this is like a sweater material, so you start to think of opportunities with ugly Christmas sweater parties. And the great thing about an ugly Christmas sweater, who cares if you scorch it, right? Because it's supposed to be ugly.
Yeah.
So you can create cool looks on sweater materials for the holidays as well.
And speaking of ugly Christmas sweaters, if you did tune into our holiday episode, I talked about holiday events, and it was an ugly sweater 5K. Keeping on the events, we also have this caroling t-shirt. This was created all with fashion film. It's actually one of my personal favorite materials because it could do such high detail. I tend to design with the artwork in mind and then kind of forget that I have to cut it out and weed it, and this makes it a lot easier to cut and weed.
Yeah, so before we leave that, let's take a look at this super fine detail on the text. I mean, I'm not sure if you can get that, but the line thickness of that text, the camera's having even a hard time picking it up, but it's super delicate and thin, and the dots of the eye, I mean, this is detail that you can hold with a super sticky material like fashion film. But of course you need to cut it properly, so we always give you the tips of making sure your blade's dialed in correctly, making sure you have a sharp blade, and that's going to give you the best chance of success, because if you are doing, let's say, a couple dozen of these and they're cut inaccurately, it quickly becomes a nightmare job if you don't have a sharp blade in accurate settings.
Right, and just to keep with the holiday events, it's just a really good time of year, Christmas especially, for giving. So there's a lot of fundraising going on with schools and organizations, and as you could see in that shirt, churches. So it's a really good time to give not only funds, but using these t-shirts maybe as a fundraising idea. And keeping with gifts, we want to talk about our last thing, which is personalized gifts. So here we have an iPad case. You want to talk about this one?
No.
Okay. Here we have an iPad case. It is perfectly monogrammed. There's a lot of personalization that comes to the holidays. This is using hologram, and the high detail here is probably, again, fashion film.
Yeah, I like this look, and I'm just so you viewers don't know, don't get mad at me, I'm just messing with Courtney because this is actually the first time that we've hosted together, so I feel like it's sort of her welcoming to hosting with me.
You.
But I also like about this one is the sort of faux rhinestone effect that you get with the hologram dots. And once again, if you have the sharp blade, if you cut it accurately, that's extremely easy to weed. It's a nice little detail that we added to the monogram frame. And if you're not doing monogrammed gifts as part of your business, you're letting the embroiderer down the street reap the benefits of all those opportunities. You can personalize those with your heat press and vinyl cutter, and it's a great opportunity.
And definitely a great opportunity for increased profit doing this too. Our last look is a blanket. We've shown a blanket on, I'm sure a video before.
Yeah.
And this one just has a monogram backing. Right here, this is for maybe a couple who had just got married.
I wouldn't know
like
anybody named Tanner and Karen, would you?
I think I do. You'll see her later in the episode.
Yeah, she's giving a sheepish grin right now. But this is created from Fashion Film Electric, and then we mentioned this in a previous episode, but for those of you that weren't there, this is sold through Sanmar, as was the iPad case. And the cool thing about the blanket, it actually ships to you. Sorry, they're losing it over here, folded. And so you can actually just not unfold the whole thing, but unfold part of it, lay it on your heat press, and lock it down on 2 or 3 layers of the blanket at once. Just saves you some hassle if you're doing a bunch of them from having to fold and unfold the blankets, which I'm not particularly good at.
Yeah, so these were 4 different ideas for the holidays. We hope that you found ways to profit using these ideas, gifts, events, apparel. And now we want to do something fun.
Yeah, we do. Are there any questions before we move on from this? Because I don't think we'll come back to the actual decoration techniques.
There is a particular question when you were talking about the Premium Plus, and they were wanting to know if it's rated for the same number of wash cycles as fashion film is, and is it as durable and stays on as well?
The answer is yes. It's rated for 50 wash cycles, even at the 280 degrees for 8 seconds. It stays on as well. It actually feels slightly softer than fashion film. I'd say, in my mind, the main difference between the two is you need to be pretty proficient at using a cutter and have a quality cutter and a sharp blade to use Premium Plus to its full benefit. Whereas fashion film, there's a little more room for error if you have maybe a less expensive cutter, a hobby cutter, or run with a duller blade. With Premium Plus, it's highly stretchable, really soft, so it's a little more technical on the usage. But people that can cut it accurately absolutely love the product. Any other questions, Joe?
Question concerning dialing it in. Explain what you mean when you're saying dialing it in for cutting.
When I say dialing it in, basically what I mean is making sure that you have the proper blade extension, number one. And so your blade should be extended the thickness of the actual material you're cutting. Most people find that a half of a credit card's thickness is a good gauge for the wide variety of materials that you may run through your cutter, so thin films or thick glitters. So proper blade extension is number one. Also proper downforce on the cutter. So it's important that you set the downforce so it's extending the blade through the film but not through the carrier, so you're not dulling that blade. So you want to make sure you have the proper extension, proper downforce on the cutter. Do a test cut when you load a new material in, and once you have it dialed in or programmed accurately, maybe is a better way to say it, you're ready to start completing your cuts.
And I would like to say too that since I do run the blog, that there are a few blog posts that you can look at for reference on that as well.
Okay, so without further ado, you're going to have a chance to participate and vote on these Halloween looks that we have, sort of like a costume party in the Stahls TV office today. So we've selected some of what we think are the best of the looks and brought them into the morning show. I won't be participating, so you can't vote for me, although they did make me a pretty cool t-shirt because I wore a polo in today, but I'll MC and bring in the looks here. So Courtney, let's just start with you, since everybody's probably wondering about the bow you have in your hair and what you're dressed up like.
Yeah, so if you were wondering, I am Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service. It is a popular anime from Studio Ghibli and Miyazaki films. So she is a witch who runs a pastry and baked goods delivery service.
Yeah, so I was completely unaware of who this might be. If you guessed that before getting the explanation, congratulations. But this is Courtney's look that you'll be voting for. Nice job. All right, let's bring in our next look. I think everybody's looking at me like you're going to call on me. Let's bring in our presidential candidate. Come on in. We have Miss Hillary Clinton. And so this is Taylor Hackley, who's our video production assistant, and she decided to dress up like Hillary Clinton. And you actually wore this look throughout Pittsburgh this weekend, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and what sort of responses were you getting?
All kinds of responses.
Yeah, so one thing, we talked about it last week on the morning show with making money off election season. People are passionate in whatever they believe, so she was getting hugs and she was getting other things that we won't talk about here on the morning show.
Yes.
But either way, this is a great look. Thanks, Taylor. All right, moving on. Thank you. All right, our next look, we're going to bring up Jenna. And we're going to have to zoom in here and get the eyes. So Jenna's dressed up like a cat, right?
Right.
And then we have the contacts, which in my mind put it really over the top and make it tough to look her in the eyes, but we're getting the look here. She has some really cool cat eye contacts and makeup job. That's a passion of yours on the side, right, is makeup as well.
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah, so I know you have all kinds of crazy looks that you've done for Halloween, even for other people, but this is the look you brought to the contest today. Okay. All right, so next we have somebody wondering over here. I'm going to try to gather her in. This is Karen. All right, explain to us the look.
I'm a sheep.
She's a sheep. And then explain to us the difference between a lamb and a sheep and why you're a sheep and not a lamb.
A lamb is a baby sheep. And, they're usually all white, and they get their black and white markings when they get older. But there are sheep that are all white too, but I'm just a black and white, like a black-nosed sheep.
Yeah, so it's definitely Karen's maturity level that makes her a sheep and not a lamb, right?
That's right.
That's a good look. All right, and last but not least, we're going to bring in our one and only Zach O'Lantern.
Zach O'Lantern.
All right, so talk to us about this look.
Well, I walked in dressed up as Lumberzack instead, wearing a plaid shirt, and they made me change into this orange shirt. So here I am, Zach O'Lantern, full effect.
Good, and I just realized everybody wasn't mic'd up when they were talking, so hopefully you're able to hear them. Through our mic, Joe's giving me the thumbs up. And without further ado, let's launch the poll for your favorite Halloween look. I'll give you a couple minutes to respond. We're having fun with this. We're also having a potluck today, so I think, Courtney, you brought in, you said...
brought in baked goods to go with my character.
Yeah, so that's a little added bonus. I'm interested to see if this
I
is...
brought in pumpkin soup.
You did bring in pumpkin soup.
Yeah, you did.
What did you bring in, Karen?
Oh, pasta salad and devil eggs.
Okay.
Devil horns.
Devil eggs. Jenna?
Very funny.
Taco dip.
Taco dip. And Taylor?
I brought two things. I brought buffalo chicken dip and a really awesome dirt dessert.
Okay,
Dessert
good.
dessert.
I'm looking forward to eating all that after the morning show. Let's share the results, Joe.
Okay. Well, they were a little sheepish in voting for Karen. She got 6% of the vote.
Aw.
Oh, poor Karen.
Kiki also got 6%.
Okay.
Zach O'Lantern, 6%.
All right.
Wow.
Hillary got a bit of a bump. She went to 14%. But overwhelmingly, Jenna as our cat at 69%.
All right. All right. So hopefully you had as much fun on this episode, and hopefully you have a fun Halloween. We're sure going to have a good time here at Stahls TV. And what's our morning show next week on, Courtney?
Next week is about top heat printing mistakes. So we'll teach you what mistakes that decorators make and how to correct them.
Yeah, and we're also launching a new series about markets you can reach with your heat printing business that will carry out for 6 to 8 weeks. So look forward to seeing you on the next Stahls TV Morning Show. Thanks for watching.